instant. I cannot do his surname, so he's just called Marco.
Because
Hello everybody, welcome to your live watch of Napoli versus Juventus, which will lose and get absolutely crucified, because Napoli will win.
So
let's go. I'll give you the teams now. The team for Napoli is Ospina, Di Lorenzo, Romani, Jesus, Gulam, Lobotka, Demi, Politano, Radzinski, Insigne, and fucking Mertens. Fucking three of the best. Then we got Morella. Oh, three players that I'm not really going to pronounce because we got about, if you see, there's a keeper in there that's not really first teamer, Zaninzola, which is on the bench. Two which are from the academy, which have been brought in, and then you got Elmas and Patania. So there's three of them which. Yeah, Zaninzola. Yeah, so. Yeah, but it's a name that sounds similar, but it's not sounds like that. It's Zanoli. It's just getting used because we got a lot of positive cases. A lot of these players I've never heard of before because they've had to go into the younger ranks. So that's the Napoli team to play Juventus. Juventus' team is Szczesny, Delict, Quadrado, Alexandro, Rugani, McKennie, Rabiot, Locatelli, Shitty-ass up Maratta, Bernardeschi, and shove it up your fucking ass, fucking Chiesa, because you're going to get ripped into two by some of the best defenders you ever come up against. And there you go. That's your team to play Juventus against Napoli.
List of absentees, not as lengthy as Napoli's, but two significant misses at the back of Bonucci and Chiellini. Rugani makes
Way! No Bonucci and no Chiellini up the arse.
Chiesa makes a welcome return to action. This is his first appearance since the 27th of November. Paulo Dybala is also...
Go on Napoli! Come on Napoli!
He must settle for a place on the bench. Illness, injury and international call-ups mean it's a depleted Napoli that's come to Turin.
Go Napoli! Napoli!
After a positive COVID test, the captain Insigne returns to the side in the midst of intense speculation about his future beyond the end of the season. With Mario Rui suspended, Fauzi Gulan makes his first league start since last March. 5 of the 8 subs listed would be making their debuts if they get on. Max Allegri says his sides are prepared and they are ready. He's talked as well about how...
Here we go! Marco, the assistant coach.
Not too long ago. And there is the man who is effectively in charge today. Marco Domenichini, the assistant manager at Napoli, a long-term assistant of Spalletti's. In fact, they've worked together since 1997 at a total of 9 clubs. Well, it's far from ideal. The cast list significantly weakened by the many absentees.
Come on, Napoli, game is on the way. Let's go, let's get the 3 points, Napoli.
On football, this is a fixture with global appeal these days. And it resonates most in the cities of Naples and Turin. North meets south, the clash of cultures.
Napoli.
Between whom there is little love lost on, and this should be a good game.
Oh, should be an absolute cracker. Happy New Year to everyone, by the way. You look at this game in the form that Juve have been in. I had them dead and buried a couple of months ago, but now
what?
One loss in the last 8, so they're starting to go through the gears and finding some form. And Napoli, since they're on a real start to the season, only 1 win in their last 5, so this is a huge game.
Go on, Napoli! Go, boys!
Scored that own goal against Spezia, that defeat for Napoli just before the winter break. Gulan, big test for him, making his first league start since last March. Head-to-head of big significance, this, a fixture with real potential. Neither club will want to concede any ground. It is so competitive in the race for the top 4. Napoli, in particular, will still feel
go on!
the Scudetto as well. Quadrado, Bernardeschi.
Shove that!
In the best form of his time with Juventus.
Napoli all the
I think he
way.
looks a lot fitter.
Napoli all the way.
I think there's a guy that's got so
Oh,
much
hi.
sulphur. His goal tally could be a lot stronger. But you're right, Adam. I think he's
Go Napoli.
4 or 5 Juve players that are certainly coming into form, as is Quadrado, who's never really out of form, to be honest. I think he's a guy that can play in any position.
Delict. No Bonucci, no Chiellini in the heart of that.
Go on, Napoli! Go on, Napoli! Go on, Napoli! 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 Napoli!
Morata competing for it with
Oh!
Jesus.
Oh! Get up!
Morata, who's been-
Get up, you twat! Get up, you twat! Get up, you fanny!
He will be staying with Juventus. There have been a lot of
Oh,
speculation.
Morata! Oh, he's play acting! Oh, we don't have to get the ball out. Oh, don't get the ball out and play for that
Press
twat!
conference that he would be staying put until the end of the season. He's got an early injury problem here, Morata.
Oh, if he has to go off, then no shame on him because he's cheating it anyway.
From Juan Jesus from behind.
Oh, he kicked him in the stomach. Oh, but he got the ball. Hi, John.
Nice from Insigne to Max Allegri, but
How are you doing this evening?
Huge story, this, isn't it, Insigne?
Yeah.
And he's caused a bit of a stir.
And for those of you not aware, he's set to be on the brink if it's not agreed already with a summer move to Toronto.
Who would ever thought that Lorenzo Insigne would be playing in the MLS? Who would ever thought that?
Quite remarkable. They're talking about a deal worth up to €80 million net over 5 years. That would be a
Wow.
wage of over
Oh my God.
$300,000.
Oh my God.
Morata.
Have you heard that his wages will be 800 million over 5 years?
Well, he's a player that Max Allegri and the Juve fans will...
That's what Lorenzo Insigne's wage will be at Toronto. Will be 800 million for the next 5 years, and that's his, and that will be like net. It's just insane. It made a stir around the world was due to what the price of his wage will be because of the move. That's made a lot of rings around the world in football. Oh, why do we let Quadrado have a free head? Weston McKennie have a header. You bunch of red twats!
It's a sitter, and he knows it. He's got the...
Come on, we need to go down the other end and punish the bastards.
Whether he's trying to be too precise, but
Thank you very much for the like.
from there, you've got to hit the target.
Yeah, Napoli are wearing red because part of Napoli's kit is white, so it would clash. So Napoli's away kit is red. Red and blue is what their away kit is. Red and blue.
Heavy touch though. Napoli get the free kick.
It feels like it's a big couple of weeks, I think, for Juventus. As I said,
And it's always also Chesterfield's away kit is also red as well.
That's a big gap to try and reduce over the months and the big games. To try and
Which they will be wearing on Saturday at Stamford Bridge.
Make it into the top 4 and put some sort of title charge on. They've got Roma, Udinese.
No, but I'm saying I don't like their away. I don't like the away kit. I just don't like it.
Morata,
I've never had. The worst away kit they've had is when they had white and green. That never worked. That was one of the worst.
Here, and as Don says, it is important with the fixtures they have coming up that they hit the ground running in 2022. We've got the Super Cup.
Hello, if you guys are Napoli fans, welcome. If you are Juventus fans, welcome as well. Have a bit of banter in the chat. Let's have a bit of a laugh and a joke.
McKennie to Quadrado.
I'm here to answer any questions you guys have in front of me.
Juventus win tonight would take them to within 2 points of Napoli, and away win would see the gap extended to 8 points after 20 games. That really does hammer home how important this is tonight. Rugani. The much maligned Rugani, who, if you look at his record,
so let's go. Well defended.
In the team and wins. Juve won every game he's been involved in this season, albeit only 4. There's the pressure.
Come on, why are we making so many mistakes so early on?
Brilliant closing down from Morata. You realise the goalkeeper centre back were in a little bit of trouble. He closes the centre half down, puts him under pressure. Not easy there for a Spina. I think Juan Jesus was probably looking at Gulam with a lack of angle he offered.
Play forward here.
Go on! Oh!
Too much on it though for Politano. Yeah, I was just mentioning about Rugani. Juve have won every game in which he's played this season. 3 clean sheets in those 4 games. He's only been on the losing side once in his last 10. That for Cagliari and Juve, winning 8 of those matches. So, whilst he's not perhaps a favourite at Juventus, and hasn't had much game time, he'll feel confident he can play alongside the Ligt tonight and do a job.
Yeah,
Guys, I'll be back in a minute. Just got to go and do something quick.
Side, he just puts himself under a little bit of pressure, but he's a good defender. He can handle the ball.
Ball it goes from Locatelli.
What a ball.
Fantastic pass to reach Bernardeschi. Quadrado's a long way forward as well. Maybe held on to it too long here, Bernardeschi. Firm challenge from Jesus.
I never knew Locatelli had a 60-yard raking pass on his left foot in the locker.
Bernardeschi's been a lively start this from Juventus. Napoli really not seeing a great deal of the ball at all.
No, I think they're just trying to withstand the pressure. Been a bright start from Juve.
Overhit though by De Ligt. Good energy around the Bianconeri. Well, they'll hope that he is fit and firing in the second half of the season. Only 3 goals and 3 assists so far for Chiesa, which hasn't hit the heights that he did last season. Very important player though he remains for Juventus as Napoli.
And now back, guys.
He brings you so much more than
If you guys like to stream, hit the like button. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new.
He puts his body on the line in every single game.
Just to get some water.
Always puts a shift in.
Nah, because when it gets, I don't know if you have this issue when it starts to get like Joe when
obviously to try and get the numbers.
When it gets dark, it starts to like inside gets cold and you start coughing a lot.
Demo beaten to it by McKennie.
I get that in here because my place is that small. It gets cold a lot quicker than what bigger main houses do because it's a lot smaller.
Again, it's real intent from Juventus.
And then because basically in the summer, this place will get warm, and when I mean warm, it's warmer than what it would be outside because of the bricks are warm. So then all the heat comes inside at night from the heat during the day, and it's not good because I think it was about 2 summers ago, we had that massive heat wave that lasted to about October. I couldn't sleep in here for a whole summer because it was that bad. Yes, that's why. Yeah, but at the moment, it's alright. I just have to get water. Just if I get like a tickly cough or something, water seems to help.
The atmosphere in Turin is always a great one, and I think the players respond to it.
Just for those of you maybe wondering why the ground isn't full, it's because of the reduced capacity to 50% in Serie A stadiums.
Oh yeah, I do. Do the big long ones that looks like the big massive ones that look like they're up there. They're like massive.
I just think there's more about Juve than the start.
I got one of them, which is
were a very strange side.
Which are like nearly half the size of me.
When they had the ball, they were quite slow, pedestrian. They weren't closing teams down. There's more energy about them these days.
Now I just get a fan and I just put it on me, and then usually it actually works. Oh, unlucky Mertens.
And also the biggest thing that I never thought worked for Juve was that 4-4-2. I think they're a better side when they play this system.
Oh, not good for me.
Yeah, I couldn't quite understand why Max Allegri 4-4-2 is absolutely fine, but he's playing Rabiot on the left side as the left winger. That's not his game. He's central. He wants to get on the ball.
Chiesa. Juve now 6 games unbeaten in all competitions, and they've won 5 on.
Come on, boys. The only thing I don't like in here that I have like a schedule for when the heater comes on and stuff, but the schedule is too long between one time it's been on, and then the next time it comes on. Because then it means it gets too cold in here between those two times that they come on.
To the left-hand side, Morata had a tap in.
Because for me, it should be in the winter that I should have it as soon as it gets dark. The heating should come on. Because it should come on from literally from about 6 to about 10. Because usually that's what it somehow what I do in the winter.
It's almost Juve playing. I wouldn't say it's a flat back five, but they've certainly got 5 midfield players behind the ball.
Yeah, but the difference is I haven't got a heating like it is in the main house. My heater basically is, you know, the ones that you can plug into a plug socket. And it's like a radiator heater. Yeah. So put this on a bit longer, Mom. It's a bit nippy in here. You don't know how I can tell? Because you know when it gets colder and I start having a regular cough, it's from that. So I think if I get a bit warm, it might help.
Yeah, patched up Napoli side.
Oh, my mate said hello.
You're away from home.
My mum said hi.
Like Juve, you stay in the game.
What time is it?
You try and get
Just have it on for bits. Yeah. Just so it can get warm in here, because it seems to.
No, it's because that were a block of it being off.
Yeah, and because it gets too cold in here, so it's starting for me coughing quite a lot because it's getting cold in here. Oh, lucky. I'm coughing quite a lot in the last like 10 minutes. No, but it's also due to it being cold as well, though. Isn't that right?
What a start to the game. Very bright, both sides.
Okay.
Moving the ball quickly.
There we go.
I love this fixture.
It's now going to be better now.
Could be a chance here for Mertens, who's got
Gummans! Oi! Because now the heating's going to be on from now until after 10 o'clock. Just so that it can be a bit warmer, because my mum can understand me getting the coughing a lot due to it just getting the temperatures changing. Because my mum has the same issue as me when it gets colder.
Insigne. Gulam to the left. Mertens on the edge of the box.
Napoli are actually playing alright. It's just that we just not had a shot actually on goal.
Politano. Zielinski. Now Demmer.
My dad will either be watching TV or watching a movie.
Rugani again got it clear. Lobotka. We've had almost a quarter.
Come on, Napoli, do something.
Bit of space for Lobotka. Insigne's come inside. And Insigne has a go. Second side.
Wait, we've actually had a shot. We've actually had a shot.
The Napoli players, because as I said, there's 5 behind the ball in midfield, protecting the back four. No real pressure on.
For once, we've had a shot.
You brought it up earlier, Don, this potential move to MLS. It looks like it will go through for Insigne. You and I had to get the calculator out earlier to work out what his weekly wage would be. What do you make of it all?
I had him on 1.2 million a week on the calculator.
I mean,
I got it miles wrong. I'm confused by it. Obviously, the money's one thing. He's played for Napoli all of his career. He might think it's a little bit too much and he wants to move.
Chiesa!
Oh, Chiesa nearly scored, but you ain't scoring now, you shit house.
At the same time, Adam looking from the outside to see Chiesa driving towards goal and getting the shot away. I still think it's a huge honour when you captain a club like Napoli.
Commentators are actually, yeah, but I can understand Lorenzo Insigne leaving because he might want to have another challenge in his career.
At first time by Mertens.
And you gotta give hands up to him that literally most of his career he has been at one club. So, and he said no to quite a lot of big teams. Because like at one stage, Premier League teams were in for him. We were even in, Chelsea were even in for him. Barcelona wanted him, and he just went and said no.
Bernardeschi on the edge of the box.
And it's took for a club that most teams in the world would have not have heard of for him to say yes.
He's trying to run across the line tight. Good spot by the linesman.
But you now know all the attention as soon as he goes and plays for them is going to be, a lot of focus is going to be on Toronto because of him.
Knuckle down.
So if they don't do well, they'll all blame him. Because you expect him in that league to be playing every game.
Knuckle down from now till the summer.
But I've watched a bit of MLS and that at the end of the season.
Fauzi Gulam with the challenge. He's done really well there because it's a goal kick. He played it against Bernardeschi.
Brilliant defending from
Come
Gulam.
on.
Couldn't quite see who got the last touch. Love watching this guy. Sorry, Quadrado, Adam.
The only difference is I would not know in this
career.
team who would. Wow, if I was Napoli, I wouldn't let the club decide who beats captain. I would let Insigne decide who's captain, who he thinks is worthy of taking over from him.
A little bit deeper because he sees the position, he sees the picture that he used to see.
Good movement here by
Yeah, he's
Lazio.
going,
Came
but
off
the
Ramani.
one thing is, let him say to the club, I'm leaving at the end of the summer. I think this person looks good for being the next captaincy when I leave. Give it to him as soon as I've gone. Because remember what happened with John Terry, because of other players who were captain, went and said this player looks good as being captain, and that's how John Terry became captain. So it could happen at Napoli.
That's a sign of a good game, isn't it? 20 minutes gone nearly.
He could see someone who could be the next. I think if he's going to be staying, it's going to be Mertens. Yeah, because Koulibaly actually is the vice captain to Mertens, vice captain to Insigne at the moment.
Milan had a great win against Roma, didn't
But
they?
when
20 draw in that game.
Insigne doesn't play, I think the captaincy then goes to Mertens. But Koulibaly still stays as vice captain to both of them when they're the main captain. So at least they've got backup. But they share the main role. Koulibaly, yeah.
There's a nice bit of balance about this Napoli side.
Or
Walker and Dembele
no,
in midfield, two hard-working
I would
players.
even.
Trying
This
to
would be
get the
stupid,
Insigne
but I
and
even.
Politano.
Yeah, or the other one, because you want to give it someone who's experienced. I would even put Ospina in that category because that guy, I think one of the oldest in the team, so he's got the most experience out of anyone. So you can even put him up there if you wanted to.
Insigne. Politano.
But we all, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Napoli go and name one of the go and name a stand after him or something, or have a statue outside. Won't be surprised.
Again, he tries to claim it was a goal kick. Correct call from the referee.
Taking it quickly and they're taking it short. And
Go on!
Put it in the box here, but the flag
Oh, offside.
and
Unlucky.
that's a bit of a waste from a Napoli perspective.
Oh, very wasteful. Not a fan of the short corner, you know that. I think just put it in there. It's tight though. I thought Morata was playing him onside.
It's gone 4 games without a goal now. Mertens out.
Come on, Napoli. Let's get into it. If you guys like the stream, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you are new.
Ragani. Alexandra. Napoli's recent form nowhere near as good as Juve's. Just 1 win in their last 5 league games. That away against Milan. They've lost 3 of their last 4 in Serie A as well.
Well, it's coincided with one of their best players, Victor Osimhen, being injured. Huge loss.
Chiesa. Drifting inside like he loves to do. And finding
Come on, don't let him get in a sight or a goal.
A little bit indecisive perhaps there. Bernardeschi after it had been
Well
played
done.
inside to him.
Yeah, I think the ball from Chiesa didn't have the correct weight on it. I think he put a little bit less weight on that. Bernardeschi would have put the shot on. So the pass appreciation was just off.
Come on. Tackle the bastard.
Locatelli.
Don't just stand and let him pass the ball.
Dema cleared for Napoli. They quickly look to win it back as Dema's there again.
Great pressure from Juve.
Dema.
Come on. Come on, do something. Do something. Come on.
Politano. Di Lorenzo.
Just keep the ball passing. Keep it going. If you get a goal, be by the run of play.
Jesus.
This is good football right now.
Insigne.
Go on.
Some good
Insigne.
skills on the ball, Napoli.
Towards Politano.
Politano. Mertens.
And Mertens might hit it.
Oh!
And he scored.
Out of nothing. Out of nothing. Out of nothing. The God has scored. The God. See, without him. Come on. How's that, Juventus? Shit houses.
A fantastic strike from Dries Mertens. I think they were very patient. They rode the storm because it was all Juve in the opening period of the game.
Napoli 1.
Really good position.
Juventus 0.
The player who makes an error.
That's why, Juventus, you are shite.
I don't think it did. I think De Ligt on the line.
Get him.
It did actually. It did. That's what put De Ligt off. See, Szczesny just got a little fingertip on the ball there. Otherwise, De Ligt clears that off the line. Dutch centre back is very, very unlucky, but a brilliant strike from Dries Mertens.
That's why you don't play Britannia and you play Mertens, because he does that.
Well, there aren't too many Napoli fans here, but those that are enjoyed that.
I wonder if they're just checking the original ball. Offside. It's good.
Well, it's Juventus who've done so much of the running in this first half.
It sounds like the defenders are not happy with the keeper.
First.
Those are horrible scenarios where De Ligt found himself in because he's done exactly
No,
the right
because
thing.
even the commentators have said
Onto the goal
if
line.
Szczesny
He's got
didn't
the
touch
shot
the
from
ball, De Ligt would
Dries
have cleared it off the
Mertens.
line.
The fact that the goalkeeper got the final touch away from him.
Di Lorenzo and Zielinski and De Ligt was there.
So that just shows if the keeper just left it, his defender would have cleared it.
I'm not too sure that's a foul. I think Juan Jesus has got a point. He does get a little tap on the calf, to be honest.
Yeah, but Morata makes most of it. The guy can only do it in Italy and Spain. Can never do it in England because he's a shit house. And he's always offside.
His career against the old lady. Quadrado.
Yeah, because for Chelsea he was off more offside than he had shots on goal.
Defeat to Spezia out of the system, Napoli. Juve beat a struggling Cagliari 2-0 here that same weekend. 20 minutes of this.
Come on, we can get to half time, 1-0 up, I'll be happy.
Just to add, that wasn't an error by Matthias De Ligt on the line. It's a horrible scenario to find yourself in because without a touch from Szczesny, he clears it. It's almost like you'll have the conversation at half time, why didn't you leave it? But the goalkeeper's never going to leave it. He thinks he's got to make the save.
Yeah. He is correct there. Even though there's a defender on the line, the keeper still has to go for it because that's the goalkeeper's instinct.
Goal, which Jensen has conceded in 6 matches.
So, if I was De Ligt, I wouldn't go and have a you wouldn't go and have a go at your keeper because you know he was still going for it anyway.
He's been pretty good from Juventus.
Yeah, that's where he's good when he starts just on either flank and he drifts central. So he's got the pace to try and get the shots away. Good block.
Oh, now I understand why Napoli are just wearing the red. They can't even wear their other away kit because that's also white.
Quadrado and Bernardeschi as Morata waits in the box. It's a fixture that's living up to the billing so far. Quadrado.
But their other away kit is a lot better than this blue and red kit that they've got. Their other away kit is white and gold.
Here for Juventus. McKennie played against Jesus.
Come on, boys.
Insigne.
Good foul to get.
Yeah, I
from
don't
Insigne.
mind it, but I
All he
think
wants
there's
is
only
a
been
touch in
once
the
this
back from
season that
Weston
they've worn
McKennie.
their third kit,
Just
which
waiting
is
for
white
a
and
touch. He
gold.
knows he's in a difficult position. Buys the foul well.
There's already been leaks already of what Chelsea's new kits will be like for next season.
What a game for this young referee, and he started well, the referee.
It's a massive moment in his career. By far the highest profile game that he's had.
You know this, yeah, because this referee's only a young ref.
Rabiot's ball into the box. Goulam headed it clear. Delict. Quadrado, brilliant first touch. Into the box he goes and drags it wide, but the first touch was majestic.
Beautiful touch. I wouldn't have forgot a touch from Goulam. Took a difficult ball from Delict out the sky. And he's trying to hit that with a little bit of cut spin.
Mertens caught there. There was a big yelp.
I thought it was a good tackle.
Come on, ref, you got to take it out there.
I don't think Delict went through the back of him. I think he got a piece of the ball. Yeah, that's what I think they were checking. I think maybe the run, I think, was Politano. This is where Delict's really unlucky. You can see him in anguish. Look to the goalkeeper and say, I had you covered.
And the grimace from Allegri says it all, as do those Napoli smiles. That's why we have this break in play. Should let you know that you don't have too long to wait for another Golazzo Live with James and James. They're back for another double header on Sunday. Two big games, Roma against Juve.
That's going to be a big game next week. Roma are playing Juventus, and Lazio are playing Inter.
Against Lazio.
That's the two good games on Sunday.
What do you think he will make of his side's first 29 minutes here, Dom?
Max Allegri, I don't think he'll panic. I think he'll realise that his team have started well.
Two big games.
Obviously, he'll realise for the Juve players on the pitch now, this is a big test, and they've got to respond. It's not like Napoli have came to Turin and outplayed Juve. Far from it. It's been a very good game to watch. I think Juve have just edged it.
Wow. Checking some results in the Copa del Rey to see if there are any shocks. Osasuna are out and Villarreal are out.
Well, it looks as though, despite the fact he's limping here, Mertens, that he is going to be able to continue. Artur there on the bench. They did think wouldn't be available today. Has been out with COVID, but has been allowed to rejoin the fold, and Dybala next to him as well. He was saying, Allegri, before this that Chiesa and Dybala would maybe share the load in terms of minutes here because they're both returning from injuries, but it's Chiesa who was given the nod to start. Half an hour gone.
Yeah, you would have thought if that's going to be the case, Chiesa's the player to try and do an hour. I think he's got more in his legs than Dybala. And then maybe Dybala finishes the game.
Dema. Injury and illness really has been so disruptive to Napoli. They've suffered as many defeats in their last 7 league games as they had in 35 before that. But they lead in Turin.
I think surprisingly it was the teams they lost against. I mean, anyone in Serie A can lose against Atalanta, but the losses against Empoli and Spezia, those would have hurt.
The Spezia one just before the winter break as well. Zielinski up there.
Spezia, yeah, because Napoli lost to Spezia thanks to one Jesus on goal shite.
Movement from Goulam inside, and it's Insigne wide. Looking for the run of Mertens, cleared by Delict.
He's the free man, Insigne. Bernardeschi has to try and get a little bit closer to him, otherwise he's got a little bit of room on that left-hand side.
Lobotka.
So he's just run off the back of Bernardeschi, and he's free if they can find him.
Oh, nice football this by Napoli. Insigne.
Oh, unlucky.
From him by Quadrado.
He was unlucky. He tried the nutmeg on Quadrado, and if it came off, he was in. Well, that's an area of the pitch that Bernardeschi has to try and keep an eye on. Insigne just getting in behind him.
Politano. Just to go back to a point you made earlier, Don, about Demmer and Lobotka in the midfield with Zielinski in there as well. There does look to be a nice balance about Napoli.
I agree.
One thing I will say
A bit
is
of steel and a bit of craft at the same time.
Spalletti's assistant
Especially when you're
actually
away from home.
knows a lot more on how to put a better team together than the actual manager himself.
We'll see more perhaps of Demmer this season were it not for that knee injury that he picked up in pre-season. I have to say
And the assistant and Spalletti have been together as an assistant and a manager together since '97.
They had over Lazio in Naples. I thought Lobotka was one of the unsung heroes of that game. He was outstanding in the midfield.
So it shows that when everywhere Spalletti's gone, his assistant has gone with him.
Ramadi up towards Mertens. Juve have it back though with Bernardeschi. Quadrado to his right. Morata arriving on the edge of the box. Brought down by Chiesa.
Yep, and I will be doing games for the African Cup of Nations, but it looks like Gabon are now screwed because there's going to be no Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang for him now.
Chiesa, signature move, just dropping inside.
No Aubameyang for the AFCON.
Rugani. Delict.
That's where they can get a little bit of joy, Juve. Delict works that ball to Quadrado and forces Insigne back. Got to play it quickly though when it comes into him. Go right.
Delict. Bernardeschi. Alexandra. Having a run at Politano. Nowhere near the Juventus player, the eventual cross. Easy take for David Ospina.
Yeah, just too close to the goalkeeper from Alexandro.
18th league appearance of the season today for Ospina. That's more than any other previous season with Napoli.
And Insigne just saying to Ospina, calm down, we're away from home, we're winning 1-0. There's no need to force it.
Delict. Quadrado. Morata.
Come on. So far, they're surprising me. But you would expect them not to play so well with the amount of what's gone on.
Here, Napoli. Zielinski. Di Lorenzo to his right. Politano's made the run through the middle. Demmer. Lobotka.
Just keep an eye on Insigne pulling off Bernardeschi. Here he is.
Found by Gulam. Chance to run at Quadrado perhaps. Given away though. Wastefully by Insigne. Bernardeschi just about kept
Come on,
hold.
boys. Put your question in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys put in front of me.
Juve are on their way here with Chiesa. Morata beyond it. Very important interception that from Di Lorenzo.
He's just a player, Chiesa, that gets everyone off their seats. You think he's going to drive on, which he does. He provides unbelievable energy. He was unlucky with the final ball to Morata.
Come on, lads. Put the pin message up there for you guys.
Can be a difference maker as
Just to
well.
let you guys know, don't forget to hit the like button and sub if you are new.
Bernardeschi.
Well, where he's great at him is he never really goes for the safe pass. He's always trying things, which is a good thing to have in your locker.
Chiesa. Cut out by.
Come on, boys.
I think you get a lot of players these days who look at their stats after games and look at ball retention. How many times you kept hold of the ball? I prefer players like Chiesa who risk giving the ball away to try
Well,
and
we
get
need to
front
get
row
some
chances
words,
and
get to half time 1-0 up, and I'll be happy.
assists. Has to be the way to play.
Said he decided to keep on training during the winter break because he wants to, in his words, be at his best in 2022. All those reports that came out recently that said that Liverpool had agreed a fee for it with Fiorentina before he eventually decided to go to Juventus. Here's Bernardeschi. As McKennie makes a run into the
Come on,
box.
get it away.
Bernardeschi chops inside. Lobotka did just enough. Locatelli. That's the final ball's not
Come
coming
on.
off.
I tell you, it was great defensive work though from Lobotka. You're right, as Bernardeschi had it on the right hand side, he tried the trick and tried the chop onto his left foot to either get a shot or find a pass. And Lobotka was strong.
Sounds of frustration from the crowd, and here come Napoli with Insigne. Mertens to his right, Politano getting forward as well.
There has to be, sorry Adam, a conversation between Quadrado and Bernardeschi. Look at Insigne now by the referee, look at this. So much room.
Insigne again, Mertens to his left. Zielinski will hit it.
Oh!
Good save by Szczęsny. Great play once more though by Napoli.
Nearly 2-0.
Brilliant from the away side, getting Insigne on the ball. Shot from Zielinski. Goalkeeper didn't
Jeez,
take
I
any
didn't think we'd be
chances.
playing this well.
Really is compelling stuff, this. Juve seeking a way back in. Napoli want more goals, and that just bobbled in fairness to Politano. A cursory look at the turf there. The Italian international.
Yeah, one of the hardest balls to strike.
And if you guys want to know, there has been a new signing in the Premier League. New signing for Watford from Udinese.
Napoli do, by the way, have the best defensive record.
It's on a player called Samir from the Brazilian.
Somewhat, just one clean sheet in their last 5 league games, but they've kept out Juventus
What?
so far tonight. McKennie to Morata. Rabiot's made a run from midfield.
Yeah.
It's opened up for Morata, has it? It's Chiesa. Looking for the room for the shot, and it was blocked by Di Lorenzo.
Bad ball from
Yep.
Morata. Should have put it to Chiesa's left foot. He put it behind him, and he had to then check his run. He lost his momentum.
Just have been at times a bit indecisive in the
Let
final
me have a
third.
look
haven't they?
quickly at
Yeah, Morata's
my
been a little bit
transfers.
loose
Well,
when the ball's been up.
let's
to
run the
him.
replays quickly.
We talk in the game about pass appreciation and playing a pass to your mate's safe side, and where it needed to go there was into Morata's left foot, which then could have given him the momentum to take his man on. The fact that he put it behind him, he had to then check, and it allows defenders to get back in.
Approaching the final 5 minutes of the first half in Turin. Mertens' goal is the difference. Juve with the chance to level things up perhaps from this set piece. They've certainly got plenty of bodies forward.
Newcastle are now interested in Todd Cadwell from Norwich.
It looks to set Insigne on his way. There's so little time to even catch your breath in this first half.
Are Newcastle just going to try and just be interested in everyone?
Fantastic.
I guess he needs to prove a point to some of the Napoli fans who'll be far from happy with all the talk that's been going on.
And that's fair enough. But his performance so far has been exceptional.
Come on, Napoli. Come on, let's get a second.
Bernardeschi.
Way!
It's really
Show me up your arse and call it good night.
Yeah, they were hoping for a foul. It's not. It's a good tackle from Alexandro. And that's why.
Show me up your arse, Juve, and call it good night.
Get wild with the effort.
Is it still kicking off?
It goes
Thank
from
God for that.
Ospina. Bounces off Mertens. Forward from Locatelli. So a foul on Morata. Seemed to go down a little theatrically, but the referee was up with play and gives the free kick.
Juve would love something just before half time.
Four minutes to go. Small placed with purpose by Quadrado. We've seen score directly from a corner this season. Only go for goal, the standing captain.
Yeah, I think I commentated on that game.
It's a long way out.
I mean, this would be some strike if he puts this in from here, or Bernardeschi. Has to be perfect.
Come on, defend this.
It's going to be Quadrado, and he does go for goal. And Weston McKennie hit it.
Way!
The corner.
I always thought he was ambitious there. Quadrado taking the shot from close to 40 yards, but McKennie had half a chance. Good block from Juan Jesus. Checking a handball.
Yeah, I think they are.
They're checking handball. Fuck off.
Quadrado, you might have noticed that. Any of the other Juve players appeal. That's, I think, why we've got the break in play, but the referee's told them to carry on now. Final few minutes of the half.
Wow.
Vital for Napoli, they're switched on.
Bamba Dingue.
A little bit by the penalty spot.
I've been offered a chance. I've been offered to Atalanta and Newcastle United. Is everyone offering everything to Newcastle when they know there's more than just Newcastle in the Premier League?
3 times in 6 seasons, Napoli have been runners-up to Juve in the title race. Left by Quadrado.
Yeah, because we're interested in getting Luca Digne, and now it looks like Newcastle are going to nick him from us.
Chiesa is dispossessed, and Napoli are on the counter.
Come on, Napoli!
Rushing numbers back, but
Pass it!
He's got Mertens to his right.
Oi!
The edge of the box, right on the edge of the area. Such a swift counter-attack by Napoli.
Yeah, Juve fans are fuming. Chiesa wanted a foul
Yep.
at the top end of the pitch. Little row going on.
Nathan Niles looks like he's going to Roma, and Twanzebe is on his way to Napoli. Go on, Twanzebe!
Referee said no and played on. Is this a foul?
Even though I don't like you because you play for Man United, but as soon as you wear a Napoli shirt, you get my love for why you're here.
Not easy for the referee to try and spot.
What a chance this is, though, from the free kick.
Wow. 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 I never thought I'd be seeing this. I don't think you say you like this player, you'd be shocked about this. Freddie Ladapa was handed in a transfer request at Rotherham.
Juventus, the yellow card for the challenge by Alexandra.
Where? Who's going to take him? That's the thing. If he goes any higher than League One, I don't think he'll be scoring the goals he has done.
They can't afford to concede one from here.
Yeah, but the difference is, if he goes Championship or a Premier League team goes for him, he will not get the same amount of goals that he has scored already.
Of normal time. Stjensny already beaten once tonight. Insigne is there, Mertens is there. Fauzi Gulam is there as well.
Since signing from Plymouth in 2019, he has scored 38 goals in over 100 appearances. So he's not that bad of a player. Zimba! What a name, Zimba! What a name!
Massive moment in the game.
Go on! Oh, Mertens!
Wasn't
What?
too far away.
He went the other side, trying to confuse the goalkeeper. He done me. I thought he'd go top left. Went for top right. Oh, yard away.
Yeah.
Just to let you
Yeah,
know that
that's
for the
why.
first time ever
Yeah,
on
that's why I
BT
think
Sports,
if he goes to any other club, it will more or less be either League One or League Two or National League, because it'll be more suited for him. If he goes any higher, it wouldn't work for him. So I don't think he'll get.
That's from 6:45 on BT Sport.
Yeah. I'm interested because he sounds like a good player.
It's nice between the goalkeeper and Dries Mertens. Full of respect for each other.
A sloppy pass, Insigne. A minimum of a minute to be added on at the end of the half. If a fair bit of that already. Lovely turn by Morata. Lobotka racing back with him, and then Dema came across.
They do have another goal. They have another goal scorer, and his name is called Michael Smith.
Nothing wrong with tackles going in.
Wow.
This really is fantastic entertainment.
I think it is.
They are giving everything
What's
out there.
yeah? Another thing I will say about this game. This game has had so many good challenges in it. It sounds like it's like a game from like the 80s, which the amount of challenges that are coming in that.
Referees
And it's amazing.
But that has been very good to watch. The home side did a lot of the early running, but it was
Half time at the moment. Napoli 1, Juventus 0. You ever thought we'd be seeing that at half time?
of the the season. So much for the two Jameses to talk about shortly. But at half-time in Turin, it is Juventus 0, Napoli 1.
It shocked me because I was expecting it to be Juve winning. But I will take it because it'll be a... means whoever's betted on Napoli to win this game, if you betted on them, you'll be earning a lot of money from it. No, I'm saying you'd be earning more than if you betted on Juventus. Come on, Chelsea. I want you to actually get involved in all these transfers. We've got to buy some players. We're looking at one particular player, but it looks like it's not going to happen because at the moment, Thomas Tuchel's come out and said his main priority is he wants to get Emerson back from Lyon. And he said he's focusing on that before he does anything else. Yeah, but we just have to wait. We just have to wait and see if anything. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. It looks more than likely that Coutinho looks like he might be going to Villa. And he said that's the main reason because he spoke out. Said Coutinho would be happy to play for Villa. And he's happy to play for Villa and Gerrard. And it's due to the fact if Steven Gerrard wasn't there, he wouldn't be going. Which is understandable because sometimes depends on what manager's there might make your decision different. Because the only other team that was interested was Liverpool. But it turns out they're not interested. Come on, I want to see some Chelsea transfer rumours here we're interested in. Yep, says here, Chelsea are reportedly ready to push through a deal for Theo Hernandez. So that's interesting. We are also... Wow. Man United are going to have to compete with Chelsea for Ruben Neves. Nah. He wouldn't fit. No way. That player would never get into the... He wouldn't get into our side anyway. The only good thing is, he's a person that if you think, I'm going to have a shot now, I can have it and I know I can get it on target, that's the player you would want in your team. Because none of our players do that when he does. That's the only... Yes. No, but I mean him from actual distance, and most of the shots, if he tries it, will nearly go in, all saved by the keeper because he's used to doing it on a regular basis. And this is where you're going to be interested. This is a rumour. Chelsea are considering a £30 million move for Serginho Dest. That would be an interesting one. Who else? Yep, and Thomas Tuchel. Yep, and this is from Thomas Tuchel himself, said he wants to bring in Kimpembe to replace Antonio Rudiger. Kimpembe and Thiago Silva next season. Ooh. If he stays, that would be good. Or even in that role, you could even say just Reece James because he plays up there, or Chalobah. They're still not bad players, so it's not a bad thing all around. Who else? Wow. This is it. Wow. This is. Yeah, this one's an interesting one. Chelsea are reportedly looking to snap up former Manchester United youngster Deji Sotona. Yep, and it's it. Here we go. Real Madrid's Eden Hazard is set to reject a move in January as his wife is expecting their 5th child, so he doesn't want to move because of that. He doesn't want to move anywhere. Which no, but one thing you can understand at this moment in time in January, he doesn't want to move anywhere because something's going to happen, and you don't want to be moving just in case something happens. Which is understandable. Then more or less, if we do it, you can make you can do pre-contracts, so we can have him ready for next season. I'll give you some more stuff, and it's saying here, but he has said he is now open to a return to Chelsea. Yeah, and we are also interested in Delict. So that'll be interesting. I think he would be good at Chelsea because he's quite a good player to have. And then here we go. See what players are linked with a Chelsea exit. We know Rudiger for once because that's been very talked about. That one's a rumoured one. The Rudiger one is the one that looks more likely going to happen.
Their attack is rated 11th so far in Serie A this season.
The other one is Andreas Christensen, but he's already looking like he's gonna stay because he got rid of his previous agent due to the fact that his agent couldn't be bothered to talk to Chelsea about his contract, so he got rid of him, and his new agent's got straight on it. He's going straight on to try and get him his new contract.
And these guys aren't strikers, and
so that's good.
Jonas pointed out occasionally Morata, apart from that turn towards the end of the second.
So what else is there? Yeah. It says here that Barcelona are looking at Azpilicueta and Christensen to buy, but they need to get rid of a lot of money to be able to buy them two.
He doesn't seem to think so. So.
And they're also interested in Rudiger. Why are they looking at us? Do they want to get rid of our entire defence? Do they want our entire defence?
Napoli, Dries Mertens with the strike there, and if it's anything like the first half, it's an unmissable second half that awaits after this.
Wow. Here's another one. This was done about not that long ago. Real Madrid are willing to include Eden Hazard in a bid for Chelsea star Reece James, but I know Reece James won't leave. Reece James won't leave. Yeah, I told my dad about that, and he said Reece James won't leave. None of those youngsters will leave this club because they love the club that much, and it looks like most of these youngsters might be here for a long, long time. So when you love a club that much, you don't want to leave. Yep, and and it says here Chelsea face a conundrum on whether to keep Conor Gallagher or cash in on his enhanced reputation. Because they've been told by Carlo Cudicini that there's been interest from abroad for his services. But now, in recent weeks, we found out that he wants to actually try and get him into our squad because he's doing that well. So it's like, anybody else that wants him, you can bugger off. Wow. And it looks like Hakim Ziyech might be going in the summer. Barcelona are interested in him, and so are Borussia Dortmund. Because it turns out he is unhappy with the amount of playing time. Yeah. See? And here we go. This is interesting. Maurizio Sarri wants to be reunited with Chelsea keeper Kepa at Lazio. 80 mil or 90 mil. And here we go. This is going to make you even more interesting. Jose Mourinho is set to raid Chelsea for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Loan him out, but the only thing is, when he plays in midfield for Chelsea at the moment, he's been doing very well. And it says, we already know about Aspilicueta. It says here, Marcos Alonso, as reported, tell their agent to find new clubs for them in January. But that's reports, so it could not be true, it might not be true. And I would take this. I would take this right now. The next one is interesting. That Ian Matheson, who plays on loan at Coventry City, is keen by Barcelona want him. And it says here that Saúl Ñíguez fears he is caught in a trap at Chelsea as his dream-long move turns into a nightmare. But the only reason I don't believe this is coming from the Sun, which I don't believe. Some can actually tell the truth, and some. Yes, I will take this. But you give us something in return. Chelsea's forgotten man Malang Sarr is set to be thrown a career lifeline by Inter Milan, but it's also by the Blooming Sun. Here we go. We got Thiago Silva signed in 1-year contract, and there looks like Chelsea are set to offer goalkeeper Edouard Mendy a bumper new contract, which will see him pocket 100,000 per week. Because he deserves it, because look at what he's done in games for us. In games that we think we're going to lose, Mendy has managed to keep us in it and managed to get us like a draw. Especially against Wolves, when we were thinking we're not going to win this, and then he just keeps us in it. And we've got no confirmed signings and no confirmed departures, but nothing else apart from that. Check any rival clubs, see what they've got, see if anyone's interested. I'm always interested to see what could happen. Wow. Fuck off! They're only doing that because we're interested in him. Liverpool always do that. Why do Liverpool always seem to go for players as soon as Chelsea are interested? Liverpool try and go for them as well. Do they know? Do they just don't want us to have good players?
Which is the problem. It's Rabiot and McKennie, in my opinion, because this is.
If I tell you the player is Eden Hazard, then you can make it very suspicious case for that.
In addition to maybe seeing Dybala later, we might.
Eden Hazard will never go to Anfield. He'll never get in that team.
Or help Juventus keep the ball better.
Okay, just seeing that Lyon PSG coming up Sunday night. Sunday night on BT Sport 1 will be bringing you Juve in their next clash with Roma, beaten earlier today.
Here we go, let's go and see if Napoli can hang on to this 1-0 lead.
In Serie A. Juve with some catching up to do in this second 45 minutes. Let's rejoin our commentators, Don Hutchison and Adam Summerton.
Thanks, James. Yeah, and interesting there, Dom, that James Horncastle made the point about Juve's potential replacements. And that's Napoli here, of course, haven't got too much they can do.
Come on, Chelsea. Come on now, whatever. Napoli. I got so many madness. My mind's all over the place.
For the coach to say to his players, look, give it everything you've got to about the hour mark.
Games are becoming thick and fast. I'm forgetting which team I'm doing each at a time.
They've got players like Elmas, maybe Patania that can lead the line, but only a couple.
Do not mention that fat piece of shite in my presence. That Patania shite.
Napoli who have the lead, but
He doesn't deserve to be mentioned in my presence.
Tight this has been. It was 50% possession each in that first half. Each had 11 attempts as well. Jesus, Insigne, Zielinski. Hit forward by Fauzi Gulam. It's Rugani who's underneath it. Chest pass by Rabiot. Flicked by Bernardeschi. Rabiot now with Morata.
Come on.
To the left. Di Lorenzo getting back. Alvaro Morata. Oh, and it's come to Chiesa.
Way! Sit down, Chiesa, you shite.
Accidental ball in that fell to the path of Chiesa, who would have fancied it. Not an easy strike to take on.
Chiesa, you shite.
Gulan's played well when you consider it's his first league start since last March.
To be honest, I think the back four have for Napoli. I think they've looked very strong. In fact, it's been a very good away performance.
He's only had 15 minutes on the pitch in the league this season before tonight. Gulan, player who's had so many injury problems in recent years. Remember, before all the injuries he got, Koulibaly said of him that he could be the best left back in the world. How highly he was rated by his teammates, as Dybala is very early on here in the second half set to warm up.
Yeah, James Horncastle mentioned Lobotka in the middle of the park, and he was phenomenal. His positional play was good. He gets tight to people. He can also pass the ball as well. Excellent first half from him.
I was looking at one of the Napoli fan sites, and they were saying that Lobotka's the type of player that they've not really had since Jorginho.
Fuck off! Fuck off! Whoever says that in the fan base is shite. They're saying Lobotka is the same type of player that they've never had since Jorginho. You're talking shite. Lobotka's shit. He hardly gets in the team.
Bernardeschi.
He is. The only thing he's good at is giving a penalty inside 30 seconds.
Calm from Ospina.
And he did that against the stupid Spartak Moscow, the Russian bastards.
With purpose here to Chiesa. Morata. Chiesa.
No!
Morata.
Way!
Underneath it.
Have that, Morata, you Chelsea reject.
He just hit it a fraction early, which then meant he got underneath it.
I might do career mode after this.
Only the 5 league goals so far this season.
I might do it like a share play thing, and you can pick one at random.
That is being highlighted a lot.
Have a bit of fun.
This weekend there were 10 Serie A sides who'd scored more goals than them. Still perhaps being weaned off Ronaldo in that respect. He scored more than a third of their league goals in the time he was
no
active.
wonder Juve are actually not playing as good as they usually are. It's because they don't have Ronaldo anymore.
Just a crossfield pass, but Quadrado's there for the old lady. McKennie.
Oh, you mean the guy that Gary Neville calls a bunch of windbags?
I always think Locatelli's best off when he's higher up the pitch. I think when he's played for Italy.
He called him and Ronaldo a bunch of windbags because all they do is moan every game.
Scores goals, gets an assist, but he's playing a lot deeper under Allegri.
And what you should be doing is not moaning and just focusing on your own game.
He's featured in more league games this season than any other Juve player.
Come on, guys, let's go and get them a goal.
Didn't start the last 2 before the winter break, though. Came on as a sub in each of them. Alexandra. Morata. How hard Lobotka continues to work.
Shitias Maratu was only good for one. He was only good for like the first 9 games of his Chelsea career, and then he just went to pot.
Midfield player as a quarterback would release Locatelli higher up the pitch. It's an option.
Well, that's one thing Allegri has a lot more than Napoli, of course, is options tonight. The Napoli coming to Turin so depleted.
It would. I would still.
This has been a superb away performance
This would
so
be.
far
This
from
would be
Napoli, but it's,
very.
a long way
This
still
would be
to go.
very canny if
As the way performances go
recently
against the top
Chelsea
sides,
played a
it's been very
game
good
and they were
from Napoli.
depleted and won.
I think from Juve's
And now it
point of
looks
view,
like
trying to work
Napoli
the
have
ball
gone
into
with a depleted
Bernardeschi,
squad.
especially
I'm
Chiesa
on
more.
on the verge of winning. How weird is that?
Politano.
you would think two teams
Took it away from Alexandro, just
with two
couldn't keep
depleted
it
squads,
in.
you'd think they would lose their games, and then turns out they win. You would never think that.
Moved quite well in the Napoli camp after that defeat to Spezia, Politano, when he said that we're not finished and we'll prove it. It's been a performance so far tonight. There's out those words, really.
Yeah, they're not empty words, those, are they? It's been an exceptional performance. Got to make sure they get the job done.
Come on, Napoli, do something.
Dema. Juan Jesus. Fauzi Gula. Certainly Napoli's fortunes in this fixture have improved in recent times. They've won 3 of their last 4
Shut up.
games against Juve. That's as many wins as they've managed in the previous 18 meetings. They're in front in Turin at the moment.
Come on, get a second, do something.
You know what he's like, but at the same time, what a performance they're putting in for him.
It's whether they can keep it going. Poor ball. Lobotka was too much in front of him, so goes back here to Insigne. Di Lorenzo.
Clever from the skipper there, Insigne. He recognised when he had the ball left that the big switch of play to Politano was on, but he elected to keep hold of the ball instead.
Zielinski, Politano, Di Lorenzo.
Insigne's on again. He's finding so much room.
Here is Insigne.
Just drifting all over the pitch.
Lobotka, yeah, they are struggling to pick him up at times. Skulan with the chance to cross in towards Mertens. Alexandro made sure it didn't reach Politano. Rugani got a clear. Bernardeschi.
In that sort of battle, hasn't it? Bernardeschi just bouncing off Dema there. 2 players just get straight up.
Good run forward here by McKennie. Then he got Morata in the box. Almost found him, great header. And it came out to Chiesa! Equaliser!
Fuck's sake!
Right into that bottom corner. And it's Federico Chiesa!
Fuck's sake! Federico Chiesa! Fuck off! You
All
are
square in Turin.
I tell you, he is just a difference maker.
difference maker.
Every time he gets the ball, something happens. He tries the risky passes. There's the coming together in midfield. The referee done the right thing playing on. And then as it falls to Chiesa on the edge of the box, yes, he gets a deflection away from Ospina. But he tries the shot. Many wouldn't. Many would go for the safe pass. He's got confidence in his own ability. And that's got Juventus right back into the game.
Fuck's sake!
Have a break. Well, the rest of his teammates did.
Federico fucking Chiesa!
Really
Oh!
And this, the beneficiary there of a hefty
Fucking hate him! He's a diving little
goal that puts
Italian
Juve
cunt.
on terms here, and this really is a captivating contest. And will the momentum swing Juve's way now?
Unfortunately for Lobotka, who's been terrific. He was the player that had struck.
It's not hilarious. If I'm with a guy in real life, I'll be telling him he's shite. Because you're a diving bastard. Learn.
McKennie, Locatelli, and Quadrado.
Oh no! Oh, fly, well done!
Gulam. Insigne.
Look how
You're
good
playing
they are.
worse than a woman on a period.
Napoli.
And that's red too.
They're loving this.
Oh, takes bravery from the away side to try and cope with this pressure. Excellent from Juve though. What a spell that was.
The quality of the football at such a
Fuck
high
off.
tempo really does need pointing out. Insigne. Listen to the noise in Turin here.
Adam, this game's not saying at 1-1.
No.
You can't take your eyes off
No,
it, can
it's
you?
incredible.
Serie A serving up another treat. Zielinski, Insigne. Movement from Politano. And it might yet drop for him. Both sides just having a really good go at each other.
Oh, for any kids watching the run of Politano there, he feinted the run in behind Alexandro, checked and come short and got the ball to feet from Insigne. Brilliant play.
Chiesa chasing. Jesus got it clear. If that clock didn't say 56 minutes, I'd never have believed we'd had 11 minutes. It's flown by. Insigne. Kenny couldn't get it off him.
I'm not sure I've seen a player like Chiesa over the last decade that provides so much energy. And every time he gets it, something happens on the pitch.
There's been
Politano.
better players in the last decade than friggin' Chiesa.
And he's not
The
always
guys that tell
perfect.
you,
That's what makes him great, because he tries things. Sometimes they don't come off. But he keeps on going, and he'll try it again.
You're giving this guy all the praise in the world, he's fucking shite.
Di Lorenzo's a long way forward. Politano. Zielinski. Good spell of possession this for Napoli. And it's been won back by Rugani. He did really well there as Chiesa. Was he caught? Referee tells him to get to his feet.
I think it's good refereeing. I think the touch was a little bit heavy from Chiesa. He knew he weren't getting round the back.
It's not missed a beat, the referee,
No.
considering this is the biggest game of his career by far.
Been brilliant.
Typical Federico Chiesa.
Lobotka.
Typical Chiesa.
Di Lorenzo. Zielinski plays it wide to Politano. Napoli's reaction to the equaliser has been good. Di Lorenzo. Politano. Lobotka. Everybody behind the ball for the Bianconeri.
Come on.
Romani.
He'll be a proud dad watching on, won't he? Enrico Chiesa watching his son play.
Come on, do something.
Play, he was. Demmer with the ball wide here to Gulam. Insigne decides to have
Oh,
it
for
open a long
God's
way out.
sake! You sort of Italian twat!
Don't blame him. He was looking right towards Politano, but he thought, I'll take the shot on.
Dybala's desperate to get on, isn't he? He's been running up
Dude,
and down.
Federico
that
fucking
touchline
Chiesa
right from the start
shite.
of the second
Oh,
half.
he'll want a piece of this. These are the types of games pros want to play in.
No, it'll be getting absolutely discarded. Don't like
Di
him.
Lorenzo. Zielinski. Stanislav Lobotka works it here to Diego Demmer, man named after Diego Maradona. Insigne. Oh, great run here.
Go on!
Fauzi Gulam.
Go on! Go on!
Expense of the corner.
That's the great thing about Napoli, though. They won't back off. Even
Go on,
under immense
shove!
pressure from the home side,
It's
they'll
got to be
still go
the
forward.
Juve twats. It's your Federico Chiesa. You fucking shite. He's a shite cunt.
Locatelli and Szczęsny in conversation there as Marco Domenichini looks on. An assistant manager, of course, in charge tonight with Spalletti back in Naples. Almost an hour.
Come
gone.
on, don't go short. Don't go
Ball in the
short
box
in
for
the
Napoli then.
fucking
Play
box.
it short.
Shoot!
Politano sat up
Oh,
to the
for
hip.
God's sake, you bunch of red pricks.
I wondered why Politano was lurking on the edge of the box there.
Mertens.
Oh, lucky man.
It's a good stop there.
Unlucky.
Goalkeeper.
Unlucky.
Was for a push there. The referee says yes. The foul on
Yeah.
Bernardeschi.
Yeah, just a little nudge. Just knocked him off balance.
Yeah, because I thought you should put the ball in the box from a corner, But instead, Napoli decided I'm going to go and do short corner.
And he reaches Chiesa, and it's pushed away.
Oh, Chiesa, he scored again. Fucking twat.
McKennie now strike one.
This stream should be called Jan Winger basically rips into Federico Chiesa.
Unbelievable player. At the time to work.
No, I should rip into him, so it's like, teach him, guys. Shite. He's shite. He comes from the he comes from Italy. He dives like an Italian cunt, and he gets people booked like an Italian cunt.
Double header on Sunday. Two big games as well, as you will have no doubt noted. Roma against Juve at 5:30. Inter, the champions, against Lazio at 7:30.
If you ever came to Chelsea, it would be the only one reason I would turn away from that club. Because I would never have him at him because of the way he acts. And we don't want that at Chelsea.
Which feeds into the thought that Chiesa will come on if Dybala comes on, but I can't believe he takes off
it's
Chiesa.
the more of the reason I don't like him is just the way he acts. It's like as soon as he gets fouled, he rolls over like he's a kid who thinks he's like broken a bone or something, or he's seriously injured. Then 5 seconds later he goes and runs like he's fine. I hate players that do that. It's annoying. And he did it in the Euros to try and con out the refs. Oh, spinner! Oh, spinner! Oh, spinner! What a keeper!
It's interesting when we saw the replay of there that Bernardeschi 50-50, maybe it struck his hand, but impossible for the referee.
He's alright. A lot of it wasn't his fault.
Chiesa to McKennie. They have won 5 of their last 6 home matches in all competitions. The exception that defeat to Atalanta.
Unfortunately, I didn't know because I was on the loo.
Could they come under more pressure here? Politano, Di Lorenzo, Lobotka, Dema.
I'm glad I didn't know because they would be getting ridiculed, and I've saved them the anguish of it. Go on! Shoot! Foul! Can't!
Thought not. Forward to Alvaro Morata.
That was a definite. That was a foul.
Jesus with the pass to Ramani.
The closing down from Morata.
The work rate from both sets of players really has been outstanding.
Come on.
Will we get a winner in that? Mertens on the ball, the man who had given Napoli that first half lead. And he lost one of their last 13 Serie A away games, Napoli. They've won 10 of them.
Oh, come on, boys. Let's get a goal. Another goal will be
nice turn here.
Lovely jubbly.
Zielinski. Mertens.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
Oh,
Oh, you Italian, you Belgian chocolate.
I think he was a little bit fortunate. Dries Mertens with the attempted 1-2.
No, because I was about to say Italian because I thought it was Insigne that had this shot, but it turned out it was Mertens, so I thought I had to say something to do with Belgium. So I thought, what's the thing that Belgium are famous for? It's chocolate. That's why I said Belgian chocolate.
The backpedaling Goulam did very well once more. Diego Demme. Striding forward is the captain Insigne. Piotr Zielinski. Insigne.
Come on.
Yeah, get an overload right.
That's the ball. Oh!
Di Lorenzo and Politano.
Chiesa.
Oh, yet again. You just have a little tap of the finger and Chiesa falls over like a child. Oh, do you want me to give you a dummy and send you to your bed? It's bedtime for you, Chiesa, you little twat.
Great save this from the goalkeeper. Good hit as well from Dries Mertens. Yeah, I think he was caught, wasn't he, from Quadrado? Across the laces there, Insigne.
Fuck off! Hello, Uncons. Rodrigo, bend a cunt.
Dybala, his last appearance on the 11th of December. It's been a muscular injury that he's been suffering from, as Rabiot is also
Come on, lads!
International Rodrigo Bentancur, who comes on. What do you make of that double change from a leg?
Go on, boys.
Correct, and bringing both players on. More energy from Bentancur in the middle of the park for Rabiot. And then obviously you've got the craft of Paulo Dybala, and he'll try and operate in that number 10 position. I've noticed with Paulo Dybala this season, when he does start in that number 10 position central, his favourite area to try and work in is sort of right-hand side of the pitch. So he'll wander over to that right side.
Come on, do something, boys. Come on. Oh, Bobka! Again as usual! Well, I'm having a shock because you lost the ball. Stupid Polish twat! Fuck about the bowling!
Just going to say that'll give him a shot of confidence. First touch. Tackle and a shot.
Di Lorenzo. Lobotka.
We need to sell him in January. I hate him. Lobotka. Bye-bye. Lobotka because I don't like him.
A Juve win would take them to within 2 points.
Lobotka.
An away win would see that gap extended to 8 points.
Well done.
Demmer to Di Lorenzo. Demmer again. Insigne calling for it out wide. It's played to Fauzi Gula.
I think Juve have got to respect the quality that Napoli have got. Players like Zielinski and Dries Mertens and Insigne, all very dangerous on the ball.
Oh, delightful. That's a foul, ref. Well done. Bug the Italian. But the Italian. Come on. Is it because he's Italian? You're not going to book him.
There is a pull on the shoulder.
If that's the case, then that's biasness, ref.
Bit of a naive foul, that. As you see Dybala get his tackle and his shot from distance.
Spina down sharply to deny Dybala. As Napoli seek to try and retake the lead in Turin. Left by Insigne, it will be sent in by the left boot of Fauzi Gula.
Go on, oh.
Look to keep it going with Politano. Who's got Alexandro for company.
Go on.
Good ball, and Lobotka
Yes,
cross.
oh.
Dybala. Bentancur trying to keep it in, and he did just.
Relentless pace, this game.
It's not really eased off at all, has it? Quadrado.
Yeah, I think you're watching two sides that are desperate for the win.
Well, the pace that Inter are setting, relentless. If they are to have any chance of catching them, it's far more likely with Napoli than it is with Juve, of course, but neither can afford to lose any more ground, really. Delict. Chiesa. Locatelli. Bentancur.
Some big weapons on the pitch now, though, for Juve. The Morata lead the line, Dybala, Chiesa.
Well, they're going for it, and they have to. Locatelli. Well read and intercepted by the effective Lobotka. Demmer. Di Lorenzo. Politano. Di Lorenzo. Diego Demmer. Di Lorenzo. Move through the gears here. Politano's cross. Too high for Mertens.
Another player for Napoli that's played well tonight. Matteo Politano's been excellent.
Insigne, can they work another opportunity? 20 minutes to go. Lobotka. Zielinski. Politano. Di Lorenzo. Lugani with the clearance. It's going to come straight back at Juventus here, though. Politano. One back by Dybala. Nice body swerve by McKennie. And Chiesa.
Oh, shame about the final ball. Great work on the build-up from Dybala.
Way! Oh, you're going to cry now, Chiesa, because you put the wrong ball in. It's gone out and wide. Oh, time to go to bed now. On your covers now. You should be ashamed.
Lobotka.
Have that Federico Chiesa shite.
Di Lorenzo. Licks the header
No,
forward.
do not say that.
Politano beaten to it by Alexandro. Again, Juventus can't keep hold of the ball for very
Come
long.
on.
Zielinski. Out wide it comes here to Insigne. The chance to maybe have a run at Quadrado. Always looking inside the captain. He finds Lobotka.
Big switcher plays on.
Politano's made
Yes,
a
that's
run
the
into
ball.
box here.
Go
He's got
on.
Mertens in the area.
Go on.
Zielinski.
Shoot.
Dema. Napoli looking threatening.
Fucking
Politano.
hell.
Di Lorenzo. Mertens has peeled out wide.
Best I've seen Napoli play for a long time. What a performance this has been.
Flag stayed down. Juve players appeals. Politano. And Mertens turns straight into Rugani.
He wasn't to know there, Dries Mertens, but he could have swiveled on his left foot and took the shot on.
Feels like Napoli are building up to something here.
It almost feels like Juventus put so much into that 10-minute spell. I wouldn't say they're faded, but they need to get the second win quick.
Zielinski pushing and probing and looking to find a route to
Oh.
goal. Napoli saw it blocked off there. Juve on the counter-attack with Chiesa. Napoli quickly have got players.
Have that!
Chiesa.
Have that! Get up! You've been so large. Have that! Get up! Federico Chiesa shite. You've just without strength. Shove that up your ass.
Couldn't really get out the way of Chiesa running straight into him.
Zielinski. Lobotka. Even since the equaliser for Juve, there is an authority, there's a calm, there's a confidence about this depleted Napoli.
Yeah, they're very assured in possession, aren't they? They're very calm.
Lobotka feeds Politano. Show too much of it to Chiesa. Locatelli. Quadrado. The Juventus it was who picked Napoli to the final Champions League place last season. As Weston McKennie fires it across here to Quadrado. He's got Insigne for attention. Bentancur. Locatelli. Dybala continues his run, but it's badly overhit.
Wrong option. I thought he should have looked left. You see Alexandro in lots of room, and Chiesa went for the harder ball.
Oh, it's going to get even worse. I don't even like this player either.
Change, or two changes actually going to be.
Oh, this gets even worse.
Morata's going to be replaced by Moise Kean, and Alexandro
Moise
is being replaced
stupid
by
Keane's coming on.
Vigilio. So two like-for-like changes again.
Moist Keane, I hope you come on, and within 5 minutes you get injured.
Off Romani and Juan Jesus. He's hit the floor one or two times. Alvaro Morata. Now they want the energy of.
That's what we're doing. I'll be coming and taking you out straight away.
His last 3 starts in all competitions, Moise Kean.
I think he's a young player, Moise Kean, that just needs some goals, just to give him a shot of confidence.
Needs some goals, he's shite.
Just to let you know, for the first time, you can see El Clasico live on BT Sport. That in the Spanish Super Cup semi-finals, Real Madrid against Barcelona. coming up on Wednesday. That on BT Sport 1. The following night, the other semi-final, Atletico against Athletic Club. That is from 6:45 on 1. So many potential match winners on that pitch, aren't there?
Hey! Come on!
On here. For Napoli, he's featured in every league game this season.
Come on, Elmas!
Who makes way with a quarter of an hour to go, but I don't think that's any reflection on the performance of Politano.
Absolutely not. Although second half, he's one of Napoli's best players.
Shows what you're made of, Elmas. Shows what you're made of.
Sure.
Rogani. Vicilia. His current contract
Bugger all.
expires this summer.
He's a go-hanging twat.
Same was the case, by the way, with Paulo Dybala. It's a source of much talk in Italy right now. Some really big names across the continent who are able to talk to other clubs now. Keane up against Jesus. Plenty of time and space for the cross in towards McKennie. Vicilia will keep it going. 4 in the box for Juventus. The cross blocked by Elmas. Locatelli. Vicilia. Dybala. A frantic, one would expect, final 10 minutes is approaching.
Yeah, just looking at Juventus players who are all central. See 3 of them left of the referee, all searching for a little bit of space. I think the players on the pitch for Juve at the moment have not quite grasped what Max Allegri wants them to do. It's all a little bit, or it feels all a little bit off the cuff to try and go and get the win. So many players ahead of the ball.
Vicilia. I just get the feeling that Allegri decided perhaps the best way forward for Juve was to rebuild solid foundations and go from there. And from November onwards, they've conceded only 2 league goals, not taking tonight into account. 6 clean sheets in 8 games they have, but now they've just got to find more routes to goal. 10 sides had scored more goals than them going into tonight, as Chiesa looks to latch onto this, and there was just about enough on that. That was confident, wasn't it, from Gulam?
It certainly was. I think the losses at the start of the season obviously rocked their confidence when they lost against, or certainly dropped points against Empoli, Sassuolo, Verona, Venezia. And as I said, I don't think that 4-4-2 where Rabiot left really suited this Allegri side. But they've found some form, and they've got to keep it going.
They are 5 points worse off right now, Juve, than the same stage of the previous campaign. The reverse is true for Napoli. They're 5 points better off. Can one of these sides find a way to win this in the final 10 minutes or so?
I mean, I still think winning the titles, I wouldn't say it's far-fetched, anything can happen, but it's a big ask. I think Inter, and a great win for Milan today, in a point behind Inter, but I think Inter are certainly the strongest team in Serie A, but they've got to make sure Juve, they put the pressure on Atalanta for a Champions League spot.
Just went out of play. Senior couldn't keep it in.
And obviously a Juve win takes them a lot closer to Napoli. Can they find something in the last 10 minutes?
Take them to within 2 points of the Partenope. Here's Rogani. Vicilia. Delict. Well played again by Fauzi Gulam. Lobotka. Insigne kept it in. Mertens. Insigne. Dema.
glad I'm not picking man of the match.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Oh, my word. So many good players.
Di Lorenzo. When you consider he'd only played 15 minutes in the league before tonight, Goulam's been outstanding at left back for Napoli. That man's done well too. Someone who'd only made one league appearance before tonight. So Kulusevski to come on here, a man being strongly linked with a move away from Juventus.
Scope.
Second half has gone on, he's withdrawn here.
Understandable. I mean, he can't run.
Get off that pitch, you disgrace to the game.
For a little bit of magic from Kulusevski.
Hasn't scored in the league this season, the Swedish international.
That's been the biggest problem, I think, for the players, especially in midfield for Juventus. They don't score any goals. None of them.
Di Lorenzo.
Free kick, red, well done.
Wriggle away. So it'll be the left
He's
hand
all right.
Goulam to swing this in for Napoli. Szczęsny on guard.
Just whip it in. Put it in and around the penalty spot.
Feels like a game that's still got a really big moment still to come, this. We'll see. 8 to go. Oh, it's bouncing around in there.
Penalty!
Oh, the
Penalty, ref!
that challenge.
Penalty!
Juve on the counter. Look how stretched Napoli are here. Keane's are marked in the box. It's Dybala. Oh, and it's
Well
gonna be
defended,
hard
but we should have had a penalty down the other end.
For Napoli, that's so many players upfield there.
They were asking for a penalty at the top of the pitch. I didn't think it was. They're still claiming, they're still appealing. Maybe for the referee and the VAR team to take a look at it.
Well, this the challenge on Quadrado.
That's a
It'd be
penalty!
interesting to see the other one at the other end of the pitch again as well.
Yeah, I never felt in real time it was a penalty.
Di Lorenzo.
Let's have a look here. No, there's nothing in that whatsoever.
No, he's not even bothered to look at it, the cheeky little cunt.
I think he's clutching there, Di Lorenzo. He's a little bit desperate, he's hoping. Don't see any touch from De Ligt whatsoever.
I don't want to jinx him because we've still got a little while to go left in this game, Don, but the referee, if at this level of the game, is relatively inexperienced, certainly to get a fixture like this. He's still refereed in Serie B this season.
And the fitness levels have been excellent.
He's been excellent, hasn't he, the referee? Hope he doesn't go and drop a clanger now at that.
Well, they're still checking this penalty.
I think he touched him, it could be a slight touch, but any touch could be a pen.
Still receiving treatment, Di Lorenzo. It's all going to mean added time at the end of the game, but Juve are readying a free kick in a dangerous position. It's Quadrado who's going to take it.
Well, Di Lorenzo has got to get back in and defend.
He's really struggling here, isn't he?
He is. So he must feel, unless he's play acting, that he got caught. Or he could just have a twist. I think Insigne's asking the question, is it worth a check?
How many times over the years have we been watching games at this stadium and there's been late drama? Somehow Juventus have found a way. Is that going to be the case again tonight? Di Lorenzo's going to have to go off here having received treatment.
Well, Dybala's lurking at him, edge of the box. unmarked if Quadrado looks left.
He is surveying his options, isn't
He
he?
is. I wonder if he might pull this back to Dybala or Locatelli.
5 to go in Turin. 5 in the box for Juve. And it came out to Locatelli. Couldn't keep it down, snatched at it a bit.
It's one of the hardest ones to hit. You're trying to hit a ball that's bouncing off the floor, it's rising. It's a half volley in step.
All square. And just over 4 minutes of normal time to go. One would imagine there'll be a fair bit of added time. I just want this to go on and on. It's been brilliant. McKennie. Lobotka.
Well, I think the Inter and the Milan fans will be hoping for a draw.
For a high boot there, the referee
Oh, no.
has pulled the play back.
I thought that was an accidental coming together.
Come on, get a win if you can.
Both players were certainly committed in a 50-50.
I think it's Demmer who's been booked. The Napoli players were very quick to surround the referee.
Listen, the performance he's had, the referee, I'll go with him.
Demmer booked. It's Gulam with the challenge. I think it's for the complaints, perhaps.
Yeah, I think his foot was a little bit high. I thought in real time it was just a 50-50.
Wow.
Virgilio.
What are you on about?
Side have caused Juve more problems than most in recent years. Since 2020, they've beaten them more than any other side in Serie A.
What are you on about?
Had the lead here. And it's all square as we go into the closing
What are
stages.
these names for?
Locatelli.
What are these names for?
Quadrado.
Oh, I have literally no idea what you're on about.
So Dries Mertens.
Mertens!
Couple of minutes to go. And it's Patania
Oh!
up top.
Oh, we're bringing on the fat shower shy on.
So he is used to coming off the bench. Patania, this is 17th appearance of the season. His 16th as a sub.
The manager, coach would have sent him on with the objective: keep hold the ball for us, retain possession.
Come on, boys!
And both sets of players have given so much.
What are you on
here.
about?
The legs will be tired out there, they'll be heavy now.
Yeah.
First game back after a break as well.
Ah.
So the dynamics of the game when you're Napoli and it's 15 minutes to go, you fancy going to try and win the game. You get to a couple of minutes before the end, you think, away from home, this is a good point. Just can the home side, with a couple of minutes to go, try and get a chance, try and get Kulusevski or Dybala into the game. Both have struggled since coming off the bench.
Final minute of normal time.
Come on.
Kulusevski. Locatelli. Virgilio.
Come on.
Lobotka have read the run of McKennie.
He could be the favourite, couldn't he? Lobotka, man of the match.
He's been excellent, yeah. I'm sure Max Allegri would be one of the first to give Spalletti's side real credit here for when you consider how up against it they were coming into this today. All the absentees, that combination of illness and injury and international call-ups.
Yeah, it doesn't knock their momentum too much if they draw it.
Ah.
Only one loss and 9 it would be for Juve.
Ah.
No, Juve fans would point to the fact that they're missing players like Bonucci and Chiellini, and they're absolutely right to point that out. But
Makes sense.
Certainly Napoli, the more affected by the list of absentees right now. Juve go to Mourinho's Roma next. And then they have the Supercoppa against Inter at San Siro. Keane.
Well done.
He's got inside a corner.
He's done well. Two players wrapped around him there, Moise Keane.
Getting the crowd going as well. A minimum of 5 minutes to be added on. Will it be enough time for us to get a winner? And what has been a fiercely
You
fought
changing your team?
contest.
Are you changing your team name or something?
There seems to be a bit of confusion on the touchline here. Zanoli is ready to come on.
What made you want to? What made you want to change the name?
Understand that. Yeah, understand that. They've got for his height. Never
Come
a
on.
favourite amongst players, though.
Come on,
That's all
don't
changed.
concede. Come
Facing
on.
the corner. No idea why.
Could Juve nick it in added time? Dybala with the outswinger and De Ligt was forward.
Well done.
Easy take for Ospina. Napoli with a man down on the edge of the area here. It's Fauzi Gulam who seems to be...
Do you think
around
Napoli
his
can
lower
score in the
back.
final minutes? Not really, but I'll take a point.
Might have took a little knee in the back from De Ligt. Accidental.
Now with a depleted squad, they've actually done very well.
No one's leaving this early. Right in the balance, right till the last. Such a clash of footballing cultures this. North v South. History and angst between Juventus and Napoli.
Oh no!
The days of Platini
You get
and
banned for having that
Maradona.
name.
Is there to be a winner though? Ospina not in too much of a rush to get the play going again here. Flicked on towards Petagna, beaten in the air by Rugani. It's a silly free kick to give away, really.
Was it a free kick though? Or did he just
Come
win
on.
the header there? Regani.
Nervous
What a chance
tensions,
this is one
folks.
for Napoli to put it in the box.
Well, it's straight to the you're normally told in this sort of situation to try and work an angle before the cross then comes into the 18-yard box. So they will stand it up, I would imagine, to the far post. They'll be looking left.
Come on.
In it goes from Gulam. Keane with the header clear. Kulusevski to Quadrado. The home support wants it played forward quickly. Did have that stoppage for the injury to Gulam. It might mean we've got a bit more than the 5 that was initially indicated. Here's Quadrado. McKennie. Zielinski couldn't get to it. Quadrado. And Keane!
Oh, what a chance. What a chance. Quadrado,
Oh,
brilliant
boy.
ball in. Weston McKennie was in there. Moise Keane with a header. Anywhere down, he scores.
Oh.
Was that the last opportunity?
No, I shouldn't have that because that's just ripping onto people that I've got. Something like that.
That by Ospina. It means Juve can get going again here. Keane holding off Romani. McKennie wanted it and got it. Petagna putting on the pressure. Dybala.
That's
Free kick
never a
Juve.
foul. That is never a foul.
Silly little nibble from Juan Jesus. I think it's the best that Dybala was going to get out of that scenario. I think the centre-back had a little nibble there. Oh, did he actually catch him? There's a little bit of knee on knee. Oh, I wonder if Dybala's being clever there and just left his left leg in there to create the contact. I think Quadrado will be the favourite from this distance.
How's the nerves, Napoli fans? They couldn't, could they? As we approach a 7th minute of added time.
Well, a couple of more yards in, and I think Dybala might be favourite. From this distance, could be Quadrado.
Oh no!
Regani's unmarked, 24.
The wall is set.
Oh.
Quadrado moves away. Dybala takes it. It flipped off the wall, and there might be time for the corner.
Oh,
There isn't. The Juve players furious that they've not been allowed to take the corner here.
that's a big call, isn't it?
It is. But time is up. It's been a fantastic game of football. It ends with a bit of controversy. But what a great watch it was. Napoli given the lead.
Full time, folks! Napoli won! Juventus won. Like, subscribe to the notification, get the post. Can't be any prouder of the boys today with a very depleted squad. They managed to gain a result out of nothing, which I didn't expect it to get anything from it. But give credit when credit's due. Good performance all round. Now it's bringing on the FA Cup. For the next game is Chesterfield versus Chelsea in the FA Cup, where it's just going to be a game. I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is, and I'll say this now: Chelsea to win that, Chesterfield to go and win the league, the National League, because I think we can go and win that. Chelsea can go and win the FA Cup because we've got the squad to do it. But I'll see you guys for that game on Saturday at 5:30. Like, subscribe to the